Today I'm going to be discussing the top 5 mistakes I think all beginners make and how to avoid them. So first is buying raw coins without knowing anything about them. Raw coins are beginner's worst enemy. There's many ways, especially online, that people can alter the photos, wash out the coin, make it look better than it is, and especially on eBay, there's a lot of people that artificially tone coins, clean them, and then sell them as if they're MS66, MS67 coins. So these here are artificially toned, and while they may look cool to some of you, most people see these as less value than just regular plain old silver eagles. Some other big ones I see are these. There's a specific seller that apparently just does this every day, all day. These are all artificially toned. These look like they were cleaned and then they took a blowtorch to them. So this is what most blowtorch coins will look like. These are a bit different, but overall the same pattern. These are worth just the same, if not less, than circulated wheat cents. So you might be spending $12 to $15 on something that looks cool, but you're just going to be throwing money away. So please avoid these. Here are some edited photos and overall lighting that makes the coin appear a lot better than it is. If you see this type of, these right here, this type of description, stay away. That 99.999% of the time means they're trying to scam you or deceive you. Top rated plus on eBay means nothing. In fact, top rated plus more often means that they are trying to get a hold of some of the money, regardless if they actually earned it or not. Typically, they'll do it so as an auction, just so they're not liable. You bought the coin as is, and they're quite difficult to return coins. Another thing I see a lot of is polished coins being sold as proof. It happens a lot, unfortunately, but something like this, 1903 Indian head penny, this is just a polished and clean coin that's been retoned. This is worth like 10 cents. And don't think that you're getting any deals, because that's usually when mistakes happen. You lose money. Most people don't make money when they first begin. You're always lucky, but it's worse than playing the lottery. These are also terrible. I keep seeing people buy these, and it breaks my heart. These are always scams. Always scams. They'll put one good coin on one end, another good coin on the end, and you think that they're all like that. However, they're all crap. If you open it up, you can't return it because it's not the same product, and you can't, return it anyway because they were deceiving because, well, if it was wrapped, then they couldn't have known. So they use ignorance to their advantage. And overall, these are all wrapped. Even the ones that are quote-unquote sealed, they've all been looked through and wrapped. So people are out hundreds of dollars when they could have just bought a regular coin from PCGS or NGC that they would have absolutely known, and it's a lot easier to sell as well. So always look for third-party graded coins, PCGS, NGC, even Annex, and CAC grading coming out. Those will be ones to look out for. The second thing is, don't buy from the big retailers. I'll start with the United States Mint. A lot of times their products are pump and dump schemes. A lot of the huge retailers will buy a bunch of them beforehand, or have such and such how many orders they're going to buy, and then sell it for a lot more afterwards. And if you bought a coin, you bought it from the mint, you're thinking, oh, I can make a lot of money if you just hold on to it. Well, 3-4 months time, it's dropped well below what the mint was offering it for. So in the United States Mint, I would say wait at least 6 months, unless you're holding on to it for a very, very long time and it's something that is going to hold value, like the 2021 Morgan and Peace dollars. Those are about the only recent US Mint products that have actually done well over time. But everything else, the proof sets, the mint sets, the Silver Eagles, those are all like 80% of the price they were when they came out 4 months later. The secondary market is a lot cheaper. And you can also take your time. Littleton, I've already had a video on them. Most of the big retailers, they have to pay for all their employees, all their advertising, all their free stuff that they offer up as gimmicks, and their interest is not in the actual collector, it's in the money regardless of how they get the money. So you'll get overgraded coins, overpriced coins, the whole 9 yards. APMEX is not that bad. However, they are a little overpriced. Most of their sales are bullion, but it's a lot cheaper just to buy locally or from online dealers that you actually know. So buy from the little guy. The auction houses where you're actually, auctioning, like Heritage, Great Collections, those are decent, but most of the coins are out of beginners' price ranges and shouldn't really be bid on if you're a beginner anyway. Another thing is beginners overvalue or undervalue coins a lot. So for overvaluing, they'll see a coin at a flea market or something, and it's a Morgan dollar circulated, it's $40. They think this is a great deal, when in reality, that's a $30 coin. So the first time it's not a lot, but if you keep doing that and you don't learn, it adds up quite fast. So really learning how to price coins is still difficult for everyone. It takes a very long time, and even the biggest retailers don't exactly know how to price coins. That's why auction houses for the mega $1,000,000 ones are so prevalent. Some of my favorite areas to look up coin prices are PCGS Coinfax. You click on the design, which here, and then at the bottom, it takes you to something that looks like this. So this is like a typical 1881S Morgan dollar. You'll see an MS63. These are selling for $75, $85. So, and you can see, why does Legend have one MS63 that sold for $400? So you can actually look at the coin and see, okay, so despite this being, like a $75 coin, what makes this $400? And you'll see it's nicely toned, maybe it has a gold cack or something else. So you always learn a bit more. You can see 64s are selling for around 90. And overall, this gives you a much better taste at what actual prices are moving. eBay, if you go down to the left side or in filters, depending on if you're on mobile or just on your computer, if you go to sold items, you'll see all the sold prices instead of what they're asking for. A lot of times people will just ask whatever they want, $10,000 for the same coin. They're not going to get it, but it makes it look like it's worth a lot more anyway. So you can see MS65 Morgan dollar sold for around $180. If you see one at a show that you really like for $170 or $190, you can say, oh, well, this is fine because the other ones are selling around the same price. The Red Book is not the best for pricing. I'd stay away from it, especially on the buying side. It's a good reference for overall values, and if you had one coin book, this is the coin book you should have. It has a lot of great information, but pricing is not the strong suit. It's outdated. The editions are printed 3 years or written 3 years beforehand, and by the time it's published and everything, it's already a little high, and by the time the market moves, it's inaccurate. Gray Sheet has a bit of the same problem. It really does focus on the really, really big retail buyers, which makes sense, I guess, but for most people, if Stax Bowers is paying $180 for an MS65 Morgan, and most people are selling it for $160, well, why would you pay $180 when you can buy it for $160? So, a lot of times I think Gray Sheet and overall all printed pricing catalogs are just too static, and they don't do a great job of focusing on the more popular avenues of buying coins. Another big thing is handling coins. You see this on pretty much every social media or Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. A beginner picks up a coin and they're damaging it whether they know it or not. So my biggest pet peeve is cotton gloves. Cotton gloves are probably the worst thing you could possibly have. Cotton is terrible on coins, especially proof coins. They leave a lot of hairlines. You don't have as much grip on the coin. And a lot of people think just because they have, gloves on, whether it be cotton or latex or rubber, that they can touch the coin however they want and it's not going to damage the coin. You should always handle the coin by the edge, regardless of what you're wearing over top of your hands. Powder-free latex gloves, rubber gloves, vinyl, those are okay. A lot better than cotton gloves. For the most part, though, you want to handle coins with clean, bare hands. Another option you can do is use rubbing alcohol if you're going to handle a really expensive raw coin. This stops all sweating and oils of your hands from seeping into the coin. This is what they do with like a glass harmonica. If you've ever seen that instrument that Ben Franklin invented, they'll wet their fingers with rubbing alcohol so that the oils don't destroy the instrument. Another thing is you also want to have, like a velvet or cloth on your desk or underneath. If you've seen some of my previous videos handling even slabbed coins, I'll have that gray cloth. Well, that's just to prevent damage from raw coins. And even slabbed coins, if it hits a hard desktop or a hard floor, it could chip. It could, ding one of the coins, rim bump, things like that. And some of the coins that can affect the value greatly and the overall appeal. So something like a jeweler's pad is decent. You're not rubbing the coin on it. This is just in case, because it's a matter of when, not if, you drop a coin. Another huge thing is organizing your collection, especially if you're a beginner. You're not going to lose coins. and it helps you keep track of your collection. You know exactly what you need. You don't have to buy a coin twice, come home and realize you've already had it. Plastic baggies are terrible. Do not keep coins in plastic bags. This is a big pet peeve as well. People bring in a bunch of wheat pennies into the shop, and each year is, divided into little sandwich bags. That just looks awful, and overall, you're going to get a lot less money if you just have a bunch of coins thrown in a bag or in a little container. If it's organized, it's a lot easier to price them, get a feel for the entire collection, and it's a lot less work. And coins won't be damaged. If they're jostling about with other ones, a lot of times they'll get scratches or just overall wear. So I've had plenty of videos on storing coins. That's something I would look into. If you're if someone gave you inherited a collection, or someone just gave it to you, organizing is the number one thing I would recommend. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you. Please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate it. It helps a bunch. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment them down below. And have a great day.